Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Tecno. Finally friends, I'm back with a review of the POCO F3 GT device after using for 50 days of usage. Yes friends, it's been 50 days of intense kind of testing on the POCO F3 GT, and this review I'll try to talk about all the advantages and all the disadvantages and each and every small topic about this POCO F3 GT device, and I'll try to include all these kind of aspects, performance, display. In this way I'll try to go through in this video. And in case if you have any other doubts on the POCO F3 GT, don't forget to check the playlist. I'll always suggest you to go for the playlist because that will give you the more information what you wanted actually. This is a playlist, as you can see. I already uploaded more than 280 videos on this POCO F3 GT, so you can definitely understand how much intense kind of testing I did on the POCO F3 GT. A lot of intense kind of testing. So let's first begin with the performance of the POCO F3 GT. The POCO F3 GT has got the performance of Dimensity 1200 chipset, and this is not my first time using this Dimensity 1200. I already used the Realme X1 Max Dimensity 200, and this is my second device with the Dimensity 200 processor. So in terms of the annual benchmark scores, if you look at the annual benchmark score, so let me tell you one thing clear. The benchmarks in the POCO F3 GT will get really less, yes, when compared with other phones, OnePlus Nord 2 and the Realme X1 Max. So they do have the 6,80,000, 6,90,000, somewhere around that in terms of the benchmarks. But if you talk about the benchmarks, it will be really low, but don't worry about the benchmarks because benchmarks is not everything in the day-to-day life. The performance in this phone is really good, and the optimization is the one main thing which I did like in this POCO F3 GT device. Yes, previously I did use a lot of other POCO phones and even the MI phones as well, but the optimization in this phone and multitasking and the RAM management is really excellent in this phone. If you watch whatever the speed test I did on this device, you'll definitely see that the phone used to win. And next thing is about the gaming. So regarding the gaming, you should not be worried at all friends, because his Dimensity 1200 is actually capable of having a really good performance in terms of the gameplay. And one more quick note, the Battlegrounds mobile game not yet updated to the 90 FPS. That's also another slightly drawback. But except the Battlegrounds mobile game, other games, whatever the supporting in the 120Hz or 90 FPS gameplay, they used to work pretty good in this phone without any kind of issues. You can see right now I'm playing this game in the 120 FPS without any problem, as you can see friends, exactly. And I'm trying to use the trigger options as well. That's also another biggest advantage. So for the heavy gaming, if you want Battlegrounds mobile game right now, you may not be having that kind of 90 FPS support, but definitely gaming is really good friends. I don't have any kind of issues in terms of the gameplay in this phone. Especially the temperatures used to increase a little bit more, but not as much as the OnePlus Nord 2. Yes, so it was in the middle. So Realme X1 Max and POCO F3 GT used to get like same kind of temperatures high in terms of the gameplay experience. That is what I'm going to talk about. But when you're trying to charge, that phone will increase slightly higher temperatures. I'll try to discuss in the charging part. But overall for the gameplay, I'm really happy with this phone. 480Hz touch sampling rate, that's about the display segment. So 120Hz and 480Hz touch sampling rate, and the combination of this is really good in this device. And having these triggers also, I'm a big fan of having the trigger option, so that's a very good advantage for me. If you're a competitive gamer, maybe they are not allowing these triggers to play, but that's another something part. But for the gaming, it's really good. But one more thing, around this price, we are getting the Snapdragon 870 as well. So which one will I recommend? I'll definitely recommend the Snapdragon 870 over the Dimensity 1200 for the slightly more stable performance and better results you may get in the Snapdragon 870. That is what my experience of using the Snapdragon 870 phone and Dimensity 1200, this is what I can definitely say that. Next, about the display segment. So in terms of the display, what is about the POCO F3 GT? Wow, there's no words friends in terms of the display. First, let me show you the default customization, how much options you do have in the display. There's a lot of customization you are having in this phone, so much of customization in the display segment, and 120Hz obviously, and having the default touch sampling rate of I think 480Hz touch sampling rate default. Complete UI is enabled for the touch sampling rate. That's also another fantastic thing. And not only that, you do get the HDR10 support in the Netflix as well. Netflix is supported and Amazon Prime supported with the HD. So overall, you do get really good experience friends while watching the videos in this phone. So this is the part where you will not get disappointed. So out of my I can close my eyes and I can definitely give the points in the display 5 out of 5. So in the display segment, not at all compromising. This is really good. For this kind of price, it's absolutely worth of buying in terms of the display. I'm really completely satisfied, and I did like this colors and accuracy of this phone. Yes, that's my favorite display out of other phones which are having in this range. And apart from that is another drawback, which is about the screen bleeding issue which is going on. I'll try to explain you what is the screen bleeding issue. So whenever you try to play any kind of game, so if you try to use the there's a game turbo which is called the screen enhancement, visual enhancement, as you can see. If you try to use and if you try to exit the game, what happens is that the complete UI will be optimized for that kind of enhancement, and you need to restart the device. That's the one drawback is there in this display segment. But apart from that, there is no green tint problem, there is no other issues going on in the displays. So display segment perfectly alright, except that software issue. Next is regarding the camera. I'm kind of average. Not only me, even if you look at the Flipkart ratings or anyone, a lot of people, they are not that satisfied with the camera. So let me just show you the couple of shots which are taken in using the camera in this phone. So now you'll be able to understand slightly some kind of shots which are taken from the beginning as well. So these are the outdoor shots which are taken, friends. Outdoor shots were like kind of okay, I would say, but night mode shots completely disaster. So night mode shots are not great at all. And in terms of the video quality is also, it was able to produce a really good color. So make sure to check the sample images. You'll be definitely able to understand the sample images of this POCO F3 GT in terms of the colors and everything. But overall, in terms of the camera, I was like average, not that great, but it was like okay, I would say, in terms of the stabilization and everything in the POCO F3 GT device. So these are the quick impressions about the POCO F3 GT in terms of the camera. And you can record, I think, 4K 60 FPS. There is no 4K 30 FPS only. There is no 4K 60 FPS enabled. That's a kind of slightly kind of drawback at this moment in the as a POCO F3 GT as a future-proof option. So in the camera segment, out of 5, 3 star I'm trying to give in the camera segment. That's a kind of slightly drawback. Next is about the battery and the charging. Wow. Battery, the phone can actually charge within close to 40 minutes of time. Yes, sometimes 43 minutes, sometimes 42 minutes. That is the charging speed when I'm counting from 1%. If you're trying to charge the phone maybe from 15%, the phone will be able to charge, I think, within close to 35 minutes or maybe 40 minutes of time. It's really good, friends. The 67 watts charger is very fast in terms of the charging speed, and phone can actually charge in 30 minutes 80%. In 30 minutes, yes, 30 minutes, I think 83 or 82% it can actually charge. That's very fast. So overall, I'm really impressed with the charging speed. But the thing is that when you're trying to charge the phone, the temperatures will go up to high of 41 degrees. Yes, 41 degrees it can actually go. And right now you did see from the review to starting now, I think close to 7 minutes of time. I'm not playing any games, but still the temperature is close to 37 degrees. I did not play much kind of games, as you can see, and the outside is about 34 and 35 degrees. Always you need to do the minus of 2 degrees or 3 degrees, whatever you're getting the value. Okay, so don't get tensed when you see 41, it's 41, not like that. So outside will be completely different. And next is about the battery backup. I was able to get the screen on time kind of close to, I think, 2 hours. I think right now I got 2 hours, but overall I'll be getting screen on time about compulsory 6 hours. 6 hours is kind of minimum. So from 6 hours it varies up to 7 hours and sometimes 7.5 hours as well in this phone. So in terms of the battery backup also, I don't have any problem. But few of the users after the recent update 12.5.5, they are facing the issues in this phone. Yes, they did complain to my, I think they messaged a lot of videos as well. They commented under a lot of videos saying that the battery was draining after this update. That's a thing which we need to deal with the MIUI. So every time we get a MIUI update, these are the things will get affected, battery and the performance as well. And next is regarding the connectivity and the 5G, 4G plus and Wi-Fi. So 4G plus, no problem. Wi-Fi, not an issue. But the connectivity wise, 5G, I think the Wi-Fi also 2.4 gigahertz is only 144 Mbps of transfer link speed, not 300 Mbps of transfer link speed, where the Realme X Max 300 Mbps, Mi11X also 300 Mbps. That's another thing which I thought of just mentioning for you all. And 5G wise also, I think 5G, there are 2 bands supported in the 5G. You can see the official website of the POCO, N77 and N78. So 2 bands only supported. That's a kind of really disadvantage at this moment in the POCO F3 GT. Slightly kind of drawback, I would say, in this kind of connectivity segment as a future-proof option in case if you are thinking. But as a Wi-Fi connection and 4G data, not much problems. I did not face any kind of issues in this device. So in the connectivity, only drawback for the 5G. Next is about the build quality. So build quality wise, the phone feels slightly heavy because of the huge battery, of course. So 205 grams you will be feeling, but the phone has got really very good build quality, friends. Aluminum chassis you do have, and the triggers are really good. But one thing is that this top trigger button will make some kind of sound, so you need to take care about that sound option as well. And next thing is RGB lighting will be present, but sometimes it doesn't work properly when you're getting any kind of notifications. That's the one thing few of the users also complained me, the notification is not working for them. So next is about the proximity sensor. Yes, the phone doesn't have any kind of physical proximity sensor. Let me try to explain you by opening the application. Is a proximity sensor. There is no proximity sensor physically. There is no present at all. There is no sensor. So this phone uses the accelerometers. I think gyroscope sensor or some other different sensor. gyroscope sensor or ultrasonic sensor something, but still this phone doesn't have any kind of physical sensor is not present. That's a very basic thing they could have added easily, but not present in this phone. In the POCO F3 GT, that's kind of slightly kind of drawback. But apart from that, there is no 3.5mm jack as well. That's another disadvantage in this phone, 3.5mm jack, and not having the proximity sensor physically. That's also another drawback. We do have the 3 mics on the phone. That's fantastic. So these are the issues in the build quality wise. Haptic feedbacks were completely great. Yeah, haptic feedbacks I don't have any kind of issues. It was able to do a really good job in terms of the haptic feedback. Perfectly alright. I did like it. Next, regarding the UI and the software updates. In terms of the software updates, we do know the phone will be having 2 Android updates and 3 years of major security updates, or 2 years I think so. I'm not sure exactly, but still UI, if you're already user of the MIUI, I cannot tell you much, but still right now the MIUI seems to be slightly improving in terms of the RAM management. So after using this phone only for the first time, I did feel RAM management was really better in this phone. Yes, so they are trying to improve their best, but still let's see what's going to happen in the future. We never knew it. And one thing about this phone is that you do have a lot of other custom ROMs. If you want, you can install different custom ROMs and you can try. That's the advantage with the POCO and the MI phones. So finally, when it comes to the price, what is the price of the phone right now? It's available in the Flipkart. Let's check the price. So right now the price of this phone has been increased. Obviously in the first sale only we got the discount, but later it increased. Right now the 8GB variant is available for 29,000, 6GB 27,000, and 8 plus 256GB up to close up to 31,000. So this is a huge price you need to pay for this phone, friends. So if you pay for this phone, you will be not disappointed in the display segment. Obviously display is the one biggest strong point for this phone. And next segment maybe the build quality. I think if you like the trigger buttons and if you like this kind of premium feel, you will not be disappointed. But performance also kind of okay, I would say, friends. So for me, I'm not that huge gamer, so I don't have any kind of issues in this phone, to be frank. So this is a complete review of the POCO F3 GT device. So for every doubt whatever you're having on this POCO F3 GT, there's a special videos I did upload in the playlist. So try to check the playlist of the POCO F3 GT and all your doubts will be clarified completely. And this is my complete review after using for 50 days with the intense kind of testing after doing multiple videos. So thank you for watching this video, friends, and let me know in the comment section below how you feel about the POCO F3 GT after you use after a long time. See you in the next video, friends. I'll stay tuned for more updates. Meanwhile, signing off. Bye.